YouTube. I just wanted to share some of the progress we're making out here on the farm, and I want to give a couple of shout outs. First big shout out goes to Pete Canaris at GreenDreams. Awesome guy, a lot of information. He does permaculture, edible landscaping for a living, so he's the guy. If anyone has need for consulting, I would call him. But anyway, the shout out that I'm referring to is he recommended what's called a sod cutter, and I've heard of them, but I didn't know what it was. But basically, a sod cutter, if you look right here, you can come in and you can take just the sod. It rolls up like carpet if the grass, if the roots are thick enough. If not, then you kind of have to flip it over. But I'm using this now to delineate the edges of my beds. As you can see, I've kind of traced out the edge. All that rolled up grass, I'm just throwing in these pits. I dug the pits so I can make the mounds, so I could plant my trees. And now I'm just filling them in with the rolled up grass. But anyway, making this line is just, I think it's amazing. I think it's a really good way to line things up. You can get creative and go curvy and whatever if you want, and I'm going to do that in other places, but this is my little mango orchard. Here's the next step. I want to give another shout out to my friend Tyler Zender. You can find him on YouTube at Able Yourself, or you can probably find him on Facebook. He was the guy that got me hooked up with all this cardboard. His dad works for a paper company, and so we went over with my trailer and we got one bundle of cardboard. Here's what's left of it. But it's awesome because these are off those big paper reels, so you can see, this is like 3 or 4 feet wide, and the pieces are super long. They have straight edges, so it's really easy for me to come out here and lay this whole big piece out, so I can cardboard over. I mean, look at that. I can do 2 rows or something, but this is awesome. There's hardly any tape in it, no staples, and that's pretty much unlimited supply. I can go get that, once a month or every other week or whatever if I need it. So what I'm doing right now is just putting the cardboard in the bed. You can see I've got it up to the line, laid the cardboard down. There's the line, laid the cardboard down. And I'm just using little bits of mulch to hold it down so the wind doesn't blow it away for now. I've got my little farm buggy. I've been moving mulch, and yeah, I'm just using this to hold it down. Once I get enough areas ready, I'm gonna go rent a bobcat and do some heavy mulching. But I want to have enough work to make it worth renting that thing. There's my mulch pile I'm working on right there. But anyway, this has got me excited because I can trace out my lines. I know what's going to get planted. I'll show you where I did it over here yesterday. I did all this sod cutting. I rented it for 24 hours. So I did those 2 beds, and then I did up here at the front. I finished up a whole bunch of prep work. Here's the front beds. You can see where I'm tracing them out with the sod cutter. In this case, I don't have any holes dug or anything, so I'm just flipping it over. There's the pieces, I just flip them over. And that's all gonna get mulched over, so it's gonna be hidden. See all that? And I've done it over here. And then places that I hadn't already mulched, like here's a bed I started and then I didn't finish, so I went over here and sod cutted the edges. It's just easier to line up the cardboard that way. And it also gives the grass is like broken. The grass isn't going to immediately come through because there isn't anything here to try to pop up. Because usually on the edge, like if you look up here on the edge, is where the mulch is the thinnest, and that's where it's going to try to come out under here. I'm pretty lazy. I haven't been weed whacking anything. So anyway, this is my new innovation, and then you can see I've sod cutted these circles all the way around where I'm going to plant a tree. That stake is a tree. At least it is in my imagination. There's another one. There's another one. And there's on and on and on and on and on. planting as many trees as makes sense to fit in here. The trees are spaced, in this area the trees are spaced 25 feet apart, and I'm doing either coconuts or bananas intermediate, so they're, you know, another 12.5 feet in between. Don't mind that guy, he was not treated well. But I got little pups. These are all dwarf Namwa bananas. There's one. That's a red spicata coconut. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to do them in threes. I like the you know, kind of have little clusters. And then here's some more Namwa bananas. But anyway, so the reason I did these the rings is because in this area I'm mounting up really high. If you see that yellow, see this yellow mark right here, this is my finished elevation where I'm going to. So that's a pretty high mound. That's like 2 feet high. So I'm going to dig this whole circle out and place it in the middle and create my mound. And then once it's all dug out, I'm going to backfill it with wood chips and go from there. That's what I did up here. That's what I did over there. And I think it's going to give me some elevation for the trees when it gets wet, and then having all that mulch material down here in these little donuts, it's kind of like a little sponge. It just soaks up the water and it's there. So once the tree grows up, the roots can go down into this thing, and this will break down. It'll start to become really nice, and I can always add on to it if it collapses, starts to sink once it composts down. So anyway, that's what I'm working on.